Artists, are you excited about creating dynamic and exciting work with your own unique and recognizable voice? Well, there's one very important thing we've been told about creativity that is completely backwards, and it may be holding us back. We're told that critical thinking kills creativity, but that's completely wrong. Like you, I want my work to be more than just decorative. I want it to have vision and impact, maybe even be transformative. And so that's why it's so important to go deeper. By the end of this video, you will understand why critical thinking is the key to going deeper and how using it enhances my creativity and the way I relate to myself and the world. Hi, I'm Kelly O with kellyoneilcreative.com. If you are interested in art and creativity and you want to be a part of a conversation about the art life loop, you're in the right place. So, are you a creative thinker or a critical thinker? Most artists would say that they naturally think very creatively. And most would probably say that creative thinking and critical thinking are opposites. But Albert Einstein, Louis Braille, Samuel Morse, these are all very famous scientists. But Morse was a portrait painter. Einstein and Braille were musicians. Were they critical thinkers or creative thinkers? They were both. So let's define our terms. Creative thinking is the generation of something new, or it's the ability to look at something existing and look at it in new ways. Critical thinking is the ability to question your assumptions, detect your own biases and set them aside so that you can apply rational, evidence-based reasoning to form your opinions, objective opinions without emotions. And these two ways of thinking are inextricably linked and both important to the artist. In terms of making art, critical thinking might mean having the ability to look at your subject honestly and clearly. For instance, I may think, I know my husband's face very well, and if I were to draw it, I could just draw it from memory. But the truth is that if I want to get a true likeness of my husband's face on a piece of paper, I have to look at his face anew. I have to dismiss whatever biases I have or whatever it is I think I know about that face to get that likeness. And then once I start drawing on paper, I'm going to have to look at that paper differently. I'm going to turn it upside down. Sometimes I look at it through a mirror to understand what I'm really doing. And it's because changing my perspective will force those biases out of my head, all of those assumptions, and so that I can see that face or whatever it is I'm drawing clearly. And that is critical thinking. Now, the point of view I bring to that portrait, how I want the viewer to feel and what techniques I employ to achieve that, that is where I bring in creative thinking. I need both. So it's really important to practice critical thinking, not just when you're dealing with an artistic idea, but with everything in your life, whether you're dealing with the political or religious idea, a problem at work, or maybe even an issue with a friend. And to do that, you have to be sure not to be reactionary. You cannot be triggered emotionally in order to think critically. Sometimes we let our emotional reactions shut down our thinking, and it's because we want to protect our identity, protect our politics, or protect our tribe. But see, that is all really surface stuff. And if you do that, your creativity can fall to ideology, to obedience to a group. And if you are an artist who wants to make an impact, the last thing you want to be is obedient. That's anathema to what you want. So here's a warning, because I speak from experience. I often test myself in this way. And when we make a commitment to thinking critically, we really risk losing the person that we have long told ourselves that we are. And sometimes you can upend friendships. You can lose friendships over it. But, and this really is the point of the entire video, your whole life, not just your work, but your entire life will expand once you show up with that kind of courage to think critically about everything. And it's not easy, but you become yourself, capital S, self, when you allow yourself to expand in this way. And relationships with true friends will deepen. Now, likewise, your relationship with the divine, God, source, whatever it is you call that great mystery that speaks to you, It's so cold down here. I hope, is my nose running? Happy winter in North Georgia. So anyway, let me start that again. And likewise, your relationship with God, the source, whatever it is you call that great mystery that provides you with great inspirations and speaks to you in the quiet moments, that relationship will also deepen. Because when you're thinking critically, your emotions are regulated, you're not emotionally triggered, and you are able to stay open to whatever messages come. And when you hear that and act on it with courage, you're more likely to get more ideas from that great mystery supreme, and more nuanced, more complex ideas to take into your studio. And that is what we all want. So real critical thinking is the only way to assess the truth of a thing, right? So sometimes that thing is your art. Sometimes that thing is a long-held belief. Sometimes that thing is you. Okay, so it might take practice to break this cycle of reactionary thinking, because we artists are very emotional. It's true, many of us are. But there are 3 steps you can take to break that cycle. Now, step number 1 is the most important one. And if you don't remember anything, if you don't take away anything from this video, take this away. Step number 1, question your certainty. Now, this is the easiest one because it's just between you and yourself. Nobody even has to know about it. It's very, very simple. But just ask yourself, could I be wrong about any given topic that you feel like you are supposed to be passionate about? This will lead you to separate your feelings and interpretations from facts. And so when you start to ask, what are the observable facts? What is the story I'm telling myself about it? What emotions are leading me to tell this story? Because your feelings are important, but you cannot let them masquerade as facts. And that's when you really start to get to the heart of things. So then, step number 2, be devil's advocate. Ask yourself, not, how can I prove this opinion is true? Ask yourself, how can I disprove this opinion that I want to have and that I feel pressured that I'm supposed to have? How could I disprove it? And that means you listen to news sources you're not used to listening to, podcasters you probably wouldn't normally listen to. It means making friends with someone with a different political or religious point of view than yourself. And that means you're doing the important work. You are separating your identity from your belief, because your belief is not your identity. Your beliefs can change, and they should change from time to time. That's really when you're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Then step number 3. This is the big one. Say these things out loud where people can hear you. It really isn't so difficult to say, you know, I used to believe that too, but I have changed my mind once I considered blah, 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 whatever it is. It's really liberating to hear yourself become the proud weirdo, the iconoclast, the independent thinker that you've always told yourself you really were, but in truth, were afraid to be. So give that a go. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to apply all of this to your work in the studio. I mean, it even applies to your work in the rehearsal hall if you're an actor, fleshing out a character. This works for anything because it's important for all artists of all disciplines. But we're going to focus on the next time, probably about the studio. But I'd love to know what you think. Please comment below, because I want to know, do you find yourself avoiding taking these thought risks that you think might ostracize you from your group or might challenge your own identity? I hope that you will subscribe and become a part of this conversation with a comment, but mostly I hope that you just keep having fun making better and better stuff. Rock on.